In the first video, we have seen theory behind sonometer 1, that is to verify the first law of the vibrating string. In the second video, we have seen the actual procedure of the experiment. Now in this video, we will learn the calculations by using a log, and we will learn how to find out results graphically as well as by calculation. So, if you remember from the video 2, in the first law of vibrating string, we keep tension constant and we go on changing the frequency. And since the frequency is inversely proportional to the resonating length, as the frequency changes, the resonating length will also change. In the actual procedure, we go on decreasing the frequency, and therefore what will happen, the resonating length will go on increasing. We have taken 4 readings for a known value of the frequencies, and we have taken the 5th reading for the frequency which is not known to us. In this way, we are having 5 readings. Now, let us see how to do the calculations. Now, as I have already told you, we have to measure the resonating length 2 times corresponding to the same frequency. Like you can observe over here, for 512 Hertz, the corresponding resonating length is 17.9 centimeter. Okay, we repeat the procedure for the same frequency and we obtain the resonating length again. Here you can observe, we name it as L2. It is again coming out as 7.9. It may differ from L1 or it may be equal to L1. Now you have to take the mean of that, and that is our mean L centimeter. Now as you can observe, in the last column we find out the product N into L, and in the second last column we find out the reciprocal of the resonating length. Now this finding out reciprocal of the resonating length, this data is useful for plotting the graph and to get the result graphically. Now let us first concentrate on how to find out the product NL by using log. As you can observe, N is 512 and L is 17.9. It is difficult to find the product just by doing it manually, and that is why log calculations are necessary. Look at this table. This table is for log calculations. Now here you can observe the first column. Here it is log N is represented as A. So here I will show you the calculations corresponding to the frequency 512. Therefore, here N is 512. We will find out log of 512. Now, since it is having 3 digits, what will be characteristics? 3 minus 1, that is 2. Therefore, characteristic is 2, and then find out the mantissa by looking at log table as usual. Now here length is 17.9 centimeter, characteristic is 2, the digits are 2 and therefore characteristic is 1, and find out the mantissa by your usual method. Log L is denoted by B. Now we want to find out the product NL. Therefore we will add this log of N A plus log of L B. So A plus B. Here we will do the addition of this and we find out C. Now if you find out antilog of this, we will get the product NL. Now here the addition comes out to be 3.9622. Now we will keep aside this characteristic of antilock and we will focus on mantissa part. It is 96.9622. Therefore, we will find out antilog of 0.9622. It comes out to be 9169. Now since the characteristic of antilog is 3, we will give the decimal point after 4 digits, that is 3 plus 1. Therefore it is 9169.0. Therefore what is the product NL? 9169. In the similar way, you are going to find out the product NL for 4 readings. Now this product NL for 4 readings will come out nearly same. It may not be exactly same, but the corresponding product for each value of N and L should be nearly same, because the first law of vibrating spring states that N is inversely proportional to resonating length, that is NL is constant, right? So the product NL should remain constant. It may differ by 20%, plus minus 20%. It means that here, if the here first value of NL is say 9169, the next value may come 9300, the next value may come 8900, right? So the tolerance value is plus or minus 20%. If I get the value NL equal to 10,000, then should we accept that value? No, we will not accept that value. Okay, because 10,000 is not nearer, it is not lying within the limit of plus minus 20%, right? And therefore we will discard that value. Okay, then what should be done in such case? We have to perform the experiment corresponding to that value of the frequency once again, and we should find out the product NL. Okay, remember the tolerance is plus or minus 20%. NL, the values of NL should be in the neighborhood of each other. They should not differ by large amount. Have you understood? Now, if you obtain such values NL, in all we will have 4 values of NL which will be more or less equal to each other. We cannot find out the value of NL corresponding to the 5th reading, because in that case L dash represents what? The resonating length. We know L dash, but we don't know N dash, right? That value of the frequency is not known to us. And if it is not known to us, how will you able to find out the product NL, N dash, L dash? You will not. Therefore, you are having 4 values of NL. Find out its mean and let us abbreviate it as mean NL. Okay. Now, how to find out unknown frequency N dash? We will write down the NL mean and we will divide that NL mean by L dash. And if you do so, what you are going to get? You are going to get the value of the unknown frequency. Then we are going to find out the same results. In this process, by doing calculations, what we have found out? We have found out mean NL as well as we have found out unknown frequency. Okay. Now, we will obtain the same results even by graph. Okay. And for that, we will plot the graph of 1 by L versus N dash, right? Since N is independent quantity, we will plot N, that is frequency values, on x-axis, and obviously resonating length depends upon the frequency. It is dependent quantity, therefore we will plot it on y-axis, right? You already know this. I am just reminding you these things. Now, as I have told you, the second last column is useful for plotting the graph. Okay, we'll find out the reciprocal of each resonating length using reciprocal table given in your handbook. Okay, now I will show you for this length 17.9 centimeter how to find out the reciprocal of 17.9 centimeter using reciprocal table. We'll find out the reciprocal of the length 17.9 centimeter, but we have to first express it such that the number should lie between 1 to 10, and therefore we can write 17.9 as 1.79 into 10 raised to 1. Now let us find out reciprocal of 1.79. So start with the row 1.7 and end up with the value headed by column 9. So it is 0.5587. It is reciprocal of 1.7, but it is getting multiplied by 10 raised to minus 1, and therefore the reciprocal of 17.9 centimeter will be 0.05587. The reciprocal of 17.9 centimeter is 0.05587. In the similar manner, you will find out the reciprocal of all such resonating lengths. Okay. You will also find out the reciprocal of the resonating length corresponding to unknown frequency. That is, you will find out reciprocal of L dash also. Then you will plot the graph as I have told you. You will plot 1 by L on y-axis, 1 by L on y-axis and frequency on n-axis. You will use suitable scale and you will plot the points like this. Then try to pass the straight line which will pass through maximum number of points. Okay. Now it may not pass through all the points, but you have to as shown in this diagram. Okay, you have to draw the best fit. Now your points may not pass through straight line, so you have to pass the straight line which will pass through maximum number of points, but like this. But if the points are deviated, the deviation should not be very large. Like you can see these 2 points are deviated, but the deviation is not very large, and also it is balanced because this point, you can observe that this point is lying on the upper side of the graph and this point is lying on the lower side of the graph. Therefore it is balanced, and such straight line is known as best fit. So you have to draw the best fit. Okay. Now if you haven't taken the origin as 0 0, you haven't chosen your scale such that origin is 0 0, then your graph, your straight line will not pass through origin as shown in the handbook. Okay. It's not necessary. If you haven't chosen the origin as 0 0, your straight line will not pass through 0 0. Don't worry. Then also you are going to get the results correctly. Okay. It depends on which scale you are choosing. Okay. Whether your straight line will pass through origin or not. Once you obtain such graph, then you have to find out slope of this graph. and the slope of the reciprocal of the slope of the graph will give you NL by graph. Okay, you have to choose 2 points which exactly lie on the graph. You have to write the coordinates like this. If I choose these 2 points, for example x1 y1 and suppose x2 y2, if I am choosing these two lines, I will find out the coordinates and then I will find out the slope of the graph as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, or I can write it as slope is nothing but on the y-axis we have plotted length, so it is L2 minus L1 upon N2 minus N1, right? So in this way we will find out slope. Now reciprocal of the slope will give you what? Reciprocal of the slope will give us NL by graph. Okay, so we have obtained NL by graph. Now we want to find out the unknown frequency by graph. For that you have to locate 1 upon L dash on the graph. Suppose if I locate 1 upon L dash on the graph like this, over here I will have to draw perpendicular on our graph. Now that perpendicular cuts the graph at this point. Okay, from that point you have to drop the perpendicular on the frequency axis. The point at which this perpendicular cuts the frequency axis represent N dash, that is unknown frequency by graph. In this way we have obtained 4 results. First result is NL, which is obtained by calculation, that is mean NL. Second result is the graph of the reciprocal of vibrating length against frequency of vibration of wire is a straight line. So that is NL is constant, that is N is inversely proportional to L. Then we have obtained unknown frequency by calculation method, as I have explained you, and we have also obtained unknown frequency by graph. In this way we will find out 4 results. Now in exam you will either have to find out the result by calculation or you have to find out the result by graph. Then I have while learning the procedure I have already given you the instructions about precaution. Let us revise precautions once again. The paper rider should be exactly at the center between the 2 wooden bridges or knife edges. The paper rider should be dry and it should be light. Then we have to strike the tuning fork on the rubber pad gently. We have to place the stem of the tuning fork gently on the sonometer box. I have told you that don't keep it forcefully, otherwise the paper rider will fall down because of that force and not because of resonance. Measure the distances between the wooden ridges or knife edges accurately. One more precaution should be taken. The wire should not touch the table on which we have kept the sonometer box. If the wire is touching the table, then you will not able to obtain the resonance. The tension will not be sufficient, the string will not be able to vibrate, and therefore the experiment will not get completed. Okay, so these much precautions you should take and you should perform the experiment and obtain these results whichever are asked in the examination. Okay, thank you.